Many TOEFL candidates struggle with the academic discussion task because they don't know what they need to do to achieve a high score. But if you know what the TOEFL examiners are looking for, it becomes much easier to score high. We've helped thousands of students prepare this way through our TOEFL packages. They discover how strategic preparation can completely change their results. In this video, you'll get 9 powerful tips that separate low-scoring candidates from high-scoring candidates. If you're ready to study smarter, keep watching. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to prepare for the academic discussion task in TOEFL writing. Tip number 1 is to understand exactly what the academic discussion task tests. This task checks your ability to contribute meaningfully to an online academic discussion with a professor and other students. You'll see a question from a professor along with 2 student responses that are already posted. Then you need to add your own response to the discussion. You have 10 minutes to read everything and write your contribution. Your response should be at least 100 words. The TOEFL examiners score your response based on how well you contribute to the discussion, how clearly you express your ideas, and how advanced your language is. Understanding what the examiners look for helps you focus your writing on what matters most. You need to add something new to the discussion, not just repeat what the other students already said. Additionally, you must support your ideas with specific reasons, examples, or details. You also need to use a variety of sentence structures and demonstrate a good range of vocabulary. Tip number 2 is crucial. Use transitions to connect your ideas smoothly throughout your response. Effective transitions help your contribution flow logically from one point to the next. As a result, they make it easier for the TOEFL examiners to follow your reasoning. For introducing your first point, you can use words like first or to begin with. For adding information, try moreover, furthermore, or in addition. And for showing contrast, use however, on the other hand, or nevertheless. Let's compare 2 examples. Here is an example that doesn't use transitions. Remote work has advantages. People save commuting time. Companies can hire talent from anywhere. There are challenges too. Some people feel isolated. Communication can be difficult. Now, check this out. Remote work has significant advantages for both employees and employers. First, employees save considerable time and money by eliminating daily commutes. Additionally, companies can access talent from anywhere in the world rather than being limited to local candidates. However, this arrangement isn't without challenges. For instance, some remote workers report feeling isolated from their colleagues. Furthermore, effective communication can be more difficult when team members aren't sharing the same physical space. As you can see, the second example uses transitions like first, additionally, however, for instance, and furthermore. It flows much better and shows clear relationships between ideas. That's why it's extremely important to use transitions throughout your response. To ensure you use a variety of transitions and advanced language in your response, use templates. Templates provide you with sentence starters that work for every academic discussion question. They include linking words and different sentence structures so you can show the TOEFL examiners that your English is advanced. This can boost your score. Let me show you some powerful sentence starters you can use in academic discussions. For stating your opinion strongly, you could use this sentence starter. I firmly believe that. For introducing your first reason, you could use, the primary reason for my position is that. When adding another point, these are excellent sentence starters. What hasn't been mentioned yet is. Another crucial factor to consider is, These sentence starters work beautifully because they demonstrate that you know how to use a variety of sentence structures. When you use such structures, you're showing the TOEFL examiners that you can organize ideas logically and use advanced connecting words naturally. The best thing about templates is that you don't have to think about how to start your sentences. You can simply start writing. You use this sentence starter and then you complete the sentence with your ideas for that particular discussion question. If you want to write confidently like high-scoring candidates, check out our TOEFL packages. You'll find all the templates and strategies you need to write high-scoring responses. The link is just below this video. Tip number 4 is essential. Take a clear position right away in your response. Don't spend time being uncertain or presenting multiple viewpoints equally. The academic discussion task rewards students who state their opinion confidently from the start. Your first sentence should make your position crystal clear. This tells the examiner immediately that you understand the question and you're ready to contribute something specific to the discussion. Let's compare two openings. Here's a weak opening. This is an interesting question. There are many different ways to think about this topic. Some people believe one thing, while others believe something else. Now check this out. I firmly believe that hands-on experience is more valuable than classroom learning when it comes to developing practical skills. While theoretical knowledge provides a foundation, real-world application is what truly prepares students for their careers. As you can see, the second opening states a clear position immediately. I firmly believe that hands-on experience is more valuable. It doesn't waste time with vague statements. It gets straight to the point and sets up the rest of the response. That's why it's extremely important to state your position clearly right from the start. Next, add something new to the discussion instead of just agreeing with what other students already said. Simply restating the existing points won't earn you a high score. You need to bring fresh ideas, different examples, or new perspectives that genuinely contribute to the conversation. Let's say the professor asks whether technology improves or harms social relationships. One student argues that social media keeps people connected across distances. Another student says technology makes face-to-face interaction less common. Don't just write this. I agree with what both students said. Technology has good and bad effects on relationships. Instead, bring something new to the discussion like this. While both students make valid points about technology's effects on relationships, I'd like to add another dimension to this discussion. In my experience, technology doesn't simply improve or harm relationships. Instead, it transforms how we maintain them. For example, I use video calls to stay close with my grandmother, who lives in another country. Without this technology, our relationship would be limited to occasional phone calls. The visual connection makes our bond stronger despite the physical distance. A response like this demonstrates that you can think critically and add genuine value to an academic discussion. This is what high-scoring responses do. You're not just repeating existing ideas, you're expanding the conversation with your own insights and concrete examples. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. Tip number 6 is essential for scoring high. You must support your ideas with specific examples or detailed explanations. General statements alone won't demonstrate the level of development that examiners look for in high-scoring responses. Every main point you make should be followed by supporting details. These could be personal experiences, observations from your community, or specific situations that illustrate your argument. For instance, Don't just write, "Working in groups teaches important skills." Instead, develop your point with a specific example like this. Working in groups teaches important skills that are essential in professional environments. For instance, during my biology class last semester, my group had to complete a research project on environmental conservation. We quickly discovered that we needed to divide responsibilities based on each member's strengths. One student excelled at research, another at data analysis, and I focused on creating the presentation. This experience taught me how to delegate tasks effectively and communicate clearly with team members, skills I now use regularly in my part-time job. The specific example about the biology project gives your argument credibility and depth. It shows the TOEFL examiner that you can develop ideas thoroughly, which is a key characteristic of high-scoring responses. The details make your writing more engaging and persuasive. Tip number 7 is to show a range of sentence structures in your response. This is essential for achieving a high score. You need to demonstrate that you can use different sentence types accurately, not just basic sentences one after another. High-scoring responses mix sentence types effectively. This includes complex sentences with dependent clauses, conditional forms, and relative clauses. Let's compare two examples. Here is an example that uses simple structures only. Students should study abroad. They learn about different cultures. They become more independent. This helps their career. Now, check out this version. I strongly believe that students should study abroad if they have the opportunity, because the experience provides benefits that extend far beyond academic learning. While living in a foreign country, students inevitably encounter cultural differences that challenge their assumptions and broaden their worldview. This exposure to diverse perspectives, which often continues to influence their thinking for years afterward, makes them more adaptable professionals in our increasingly globalized economy. The second version uses a complex sentence with a reason clause, because the experience provides benefits that extend far beyond academic learning. It also includes a time clause. While living in a foreign country, students inevitably encounter cultural differences. Additionally, you can see a relative clause, which often continues to influence their thinking for years afterward. This variety demonstrates advanced language use that examiners look for in high-scoring responses. The key is using these structures naturally where they fit. Don't force them in awkwardly. When you have an opportunity to show your grammatical range, take it. This is what separates lower-scoring responses from high-scoring responses. Tip number 8 is to use precise and advanced vocabulary throughout your response. You need to show a broad range of vocabulary that goes beyond basic everyday words. Instead of using simple words repeatedly, choose more advanced alternatives that express your meaning more precisely. Don't write "good" multiple times. Instead, use words like beneficial, valuable, or advantageous. Further, replace simple phrases with more sophisticated language. Don't simply write this. I think this is important. Instead, write something like this. This aspect is particularly significant because instead of "a lot of," try "numerous," "substantial," or "considerable." Furthermore, use expressions that sound natural and academic. For example, instead of "get better," write "improve" or "enhance." Instead of "bad effects," write "negative consequences" or "adverse impacts." Let's look at an example. Here is a basic sentence. Technology helps students learn better and makes education more interesting. Now, take a look at this more advanced version. Technology enhances students' learning experiences by providing interactive resources that make complex concepts more accessible and engaging. As you can see, this version uses advanced vocabulary such as enhances, learning experiences, and engaging. However, here is a warning. Be careful to use vocabulary you're confident about. It's better to use simpler words correctly than to misuse advanced vocabulary. The goal is demonstrating precise word choice that communicates your meaning clearly and effectively. Additionally, avoid repeating the exact same words from the professor's question or from other students' responses. Paraphrase instead. For instance, if the question uses beneficial, you might write advantageous or valuable. This demonstrates vocabulary range, which is something high-scoring responses consistently show. My final tip is to stay focused and relevant throughout your entire response. Every sentence should contribute directly to answering the professor's question and advancing the discussion. In a 10-minute task, you don't have time for unnecessary information. Don't include personal stories that don't support your main point. Don't write about related but different topics. Stay focused on the specific question the professor asked. Let's say the professor asks whether universities should require students to take classes outside their major field of study. Your response should focus specifically on required courses outside the major. Don't start discussing elective courses in general, or talk about your entire university experience, or explain the education system in your country. Additionally, make sure your response is long enough to fully develop your ideas. You need to write at least 100 words. Don't write less, otherwise your score will go down. Before you finish, proofread your response and check whether you have written at least 100 words. That's it! Those are 9 essential tips for writing a high-scoring response in the academic discussion task. If you're serious about achieving the TOEFL score you need, check out our TOEFL packages using the link below. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high so you'll feel confident on test day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their TOEFL score too. See you in the next video!